Good afternoon once again. I am Alhassan Abass. I am here to continue our lessons on English language tutorial. In my previous videos, I taught you what nouns are, and also we looked at the definition. We look at the types of what nouns and how to identify nouns in a given sentence. In this lesson, we are continuing from that, and we are going to talk about forms of nouns, singular and plurals, as well as functions of what nouns. When we talk of forms of nouns, we are talking about number classes. Number classes. In English, the number system constitutes a two-term contrast, and that is what we call singular and then plural. When we say singular, we mean one item, and when we talk of plural, we mean many items. Many items from one item, or when you have an item which is noun in many forms, how do we call them? That is the plural. So let's go ahead and look at the three main number classes of nouns that can be distinguished. One, we have singular invariable nouns. Nouns used only in singular form. This means that we have words which belongs to category of nouns, but they are only used in a singular form. Two, we also have plural invariable nouns. These category of nouns are also only used or in the form of what? Plural. They are found in the form of plural alone. The third one is the variable nouns. Nouns used in both singular and plural. It means that the word can be used in the singular form at the same time in the plural form. But the previous one, the singular invariable, are used in only singular. Plural invariable are also used in plural only. Variables nouns are used in both singular and the plural. Now let's take them one after the other. Let's talk about singular invariable nouns. That is, nouns used only in the singular. These are nouns which remain singular and have no plural forms. These nouns include non-count nouns. Remember, in our previous video, we made mention of non-count nouns, and also proper nouns. Proper nouns. So it means that non-count nouns and proper nouns are mostly used as was singular invariable, which means they are mostly found only in singular. They don't have plural in their nature. Examples are acoustics, economics, linguistics, athletics, ethics, phonetics, classes, germinatics, debt, paper, wood, measles, shingles, malaria. Now let us go to plural invariable nouns. These are nouns which have only plural forms. These are nouns occurring only in the plural form. It means that they only occur in the plural forms, or the idea that they come out with, or if you look at the word, they are used only in plural forms. Example, we have people, scissors, trousers, binoculars, clippers, tongues, spectacles, pajamas, shorts, jeans, damages, clothes, congratulations, fans, goods, whereabouts, etc. The next thing that we have to look at is the different categories of this type of nouns can be identified. Some nouns which refers to tools and dresses. So if you look at it, we have those invariable, plural invariable nouns. They might be used in the form of tools. So those in the form of tools are bellows, binoculars, pincers, pliers, scales, scissors, and shears. And then we also have some that are used in the form of dresses. We have glasses, knickers, pants, pajamas, shorts, spectacles, trousers. These are used in the form of what? Plural in nature. Some nouns which have no plurals but are used only in the plural. Example, clergy, folks, graffiti, police, youth, people. Some also have plural and singular forms, but when each is used, the meaning is completely different. Now, let us look at this example. When we talk of brain, that is human, we are referring to human brain when it is in the form of singular. But when we go to plural, we have brains. Here, brains is used in the plural form, but in different meaning from the brain that we were referring to human brain. But the brains here used in the plural form is referring to intelligent. It means that the person is very intelligent. We also have arm. When you look at arm, we have human arm when it is in the form of what? Singular. But when you send it to plural form, that is arms, we are referring to weapons instead of human arm. We also have fireworks, a small container filled with explosive chemicals which produces bright colored patterns or loud noise which they explode. But when you come here in the form of what? Fireworks in the form of plural, it is what? A lot of angry shouting. A lot of angry shouting. Now let us go to variable nouns. Variable nouns. These are words of nouns used in both singular and the plural. These are nouns which occur with either singular or plural number. For example, we have dog, the plural form is dogs. We have bench, benches. We have mouse, mice. Book, books. Pen, pens. Table, table. How variable nouns are formed. Now let us look at how variable nouns, those which can have a plural at the same time singular, they have a special way of forming itself. One, the plural form is the form of count nouns when it refers to more than one thing. Two, plural can be formed in many ways. One, where s is added to a singular noun like house, we have houses, book, we have books. The regular S plural has three different pronunciations. Here, my students, I just want us to understand that we will have time, or in one of my videos, I have made it specially for phonology and then phonetics. That is where we will learn much of these things. But let us use part of it to learn this thing for our understanding. The regular S, which is plural, which is added to a singular word to make plural, has three different pronunciation. We have is sound, we have z sound, and then we also have s sound. Depending on the final sound of the base. So as an English student, you have to be very careful, learn this thing, understand them so that you may use them always when you are speaking. The sound is pronounced is after base ending in sibilants. In our phonology and phonetics videos, I will explain much of sibilants and others. We have s as in horse, horses, box, boxes. We have z sound in size. The plural form will be sizes. In mirage, we will have mirages in the form of z sound. We have j. In language, we have languages. We have judge, we have judges. The z sound after bases ending in vowels and voiced consonants other than sibilants. Example, we have day, we have days, we have bed, we have beds, we have mirage, we have mirages, we have language, we have languages. S after base ending in voiceless consonants other than sibilants. Example, bet, we have bets. Month, we have month. Exception, bus, buses, no rushes. Now let us go to different thing that makes that is used in forming plural. We have words ending in y, changing to ies. Example, we have lorry, then we have lorries. We have lady, we have ladies. We have fly, we have flies. We have country, we have countries. We have comedy, comedies. Family, families. But let me say that it is not all the situation that it may apply. So we have to be very careful and vigilant when it comes to these things. But mostly, that is how they form their plurals. 2. Where es is added to generate plural. Example, we have church, churches. We have box, boxes. We have bus, buses. We have fox, foxes. Words with f and fe ending changing to ves. Example, we have half. It changes to halves. We have knife. It changes to knives. We have themselves, themselves. All these things are there, of which you have to take them one after the other, understand them, so that you will be able to form your plural words good. Words having their plural ending in en. For example, we have ox, we have oxen. We have child, we have children. We also have words with middle or internal change to form plural example, we have man. Internally, the vowels between them were changed to make what? Plural. So we have man, we have men. We have woman, we have women. We have tooth, we have teeth. We have mouse, then we have mice. Words with no change at all to form plurals. We have some words which do not need to be changed in order to form plurals. They remain the same. So it can be used singular at the same time used in plural form. We have sheep. We have sheep. We don't have ships. We have aircraft. We have aircraft. We don't have aircrafts. We have fish. We have fish. We don't have fishes. Swine. Swine. Words from other languages. From my syntax, when I was introducing English to you, from my previous videos, I made mention to you that English came out from a certain or some have a history to be told for its language to exist, because there were many instances where French and Greek came into English language formation. So because of that, what we normally see is that some borrowed words are now being used in English. So some of these borrowed words, their plural are formed in this situation. We have stadium, which is stadia, but you can say stadiums. We have symposium. We have symposia. You can also say symposiums. From Greek words, words that were borrowed from Greek words like analysis. Analysis. When you send this to plural, you can say it's analysis. We have axis, axis. We have crisis, we have crisis. Hypothesis, hypothesis. Basis, basis. Now let us go to regular and irregular forms of what? Nouns. Regular nouns, they are nouns that form their plural with the addition of x. Irregular nouns are nouns that do not form their plurals with the addition of what? X. So it means that when we have regular noun, it means that when you want to send it into plural, you only need to add s to it and then you form your plural. That is the regular nouns. But irregular nouns are also nouns when you want to form their plural, they form their plural without adding s, but it changes the word entirely. Now let us look at some example regular nouns. When you go here, we have boy, we have boys, banana, bananas, pen, pens, road, roads, goat, goats, bag, bags. But when you come to irregular, we have man and then men, tooth and teeth, thief, thieves, ox, oxen, watch, watches, child, children. So these are also irregular nouns, and that is how it is. Note also the variation of what? Quantifiers. I'm bringing this one in because it disturbs many people when they are speaking. The use of many and much. In some of the following examples of count and non-count nouns. For example, she was a beauty in her youth. It is count. A beauty here is in count. She had great beauty in her youth. And here we call it non-count. She had many difficulties. Count. She had much difficulty. Non-count. He had several odd experiences. Here, several is used and it is what? Count. He he had much experience. Because of the much, it is what? Non-count. So you have to be very careful the way you use your quantifiers and determinants. Other count, no, non-count pairs realized by different lexical items are the following. We have garment, we change it to what? Clothing in order to be counted. Poem, we have poetry. Laugh, we have laughter. Song, we have music. Suitcase, we have luggage. Now, let us go to genitive forms of what? Nouns. Genitive forms of nouns. The genitive form of noun shows possession or ownership. They come in different forms. Please, I want you to take careful look or listen very attentively because these ones are very trickish and most of our students write without knowing how to arrange them well. One, when adding s to regular singular nouns, adding s to regular singular nouns. Just right now, I have taught you what regular nouns are and the irregular nouns. So when you add apostrophe plus s to irregular nouns, it shows what? Possession of such person. So we have Osman's shirts, cats, cats, book, cats item, and then books. Then we have what? This is what? The genitive item of what you are showing. Cat's food. Osman's book or book's cover. Then you come here, adding number two, adding only apostrophe. Adding only apostrophe to genitive case in regular plural nouns. Example, the boy's book, cat's tail. Think of it. To adding only apostrophe to the genitive case in regular plural nouns. You can go back to this video and check the regular and the irregular nouns so that you will be able to apply these rules very well. Adding apostrophe s to irregular singular nouns. Irregular singular nouns. One example, Charles' eye. Now, fourth, adding apostrophe to s to apostrophe s to irregular plural nouns, that children's eye, men's book, sheep's skin. Adding apostrophe to irregular plural nouns ending with s. For example, ladies' bag, ladies' bag. In some situation, you can add off to the noun phrase. Example, the name of a girl, the girl, the title of the poem. Now, let us go to the functions of what? Nouns. Nouns perform several functions in sentences. Typically, they function as subject, direct object, indirect object, subject complement, object complement, appositive, object of a preposition. The subject. Traditionally, the subject is defined as the doer of an action. What is wrong with this definition? We notice that this definition does not cater for all subjects, since a sentence like Amma is a girl has Amma as its subject, but Amma is not performing any action. So it tells us that when we use the above definition, it always makes the subject do something, because we say the subject is the doer of a sentence? What if it is not doing anything like that, but rather it is being complemented? The subject, a certain name or noun, is complementing the other noun which starts the sentence or which is doing the action. So we have to be very careful the definition. So the definition of the subject doesn't augur well. A more refined and all-embracing definition for the subject is that it is the word or phrase spoken of in a sentence. One way of determining the subject of a sentence is that it is usually found the left side of the verb in the sentence. In this regard, after the verb has been identified, what appears just before the verb is usually the subject. For example, flowers are naturally beautiful. Children are gift from God. Books contain knowledge. Trees promote life. Here, flowers is serving as what? The subject. Children, the subject. Books and trees are all serving as what? The subject of the sentence. Let's go to the object. The object of a sentence is the part of the sentence which is acted upon or affected by the verb. Therefore, in the following sentence, Ajua hit the ball. Ajua hit the ball. Ball is the object of the sentence because it is the ball which is receiving the effect of what the subject or the verb in the sentence. We have types of objects. There are two types of objects: direct objects and indirect objects. Direct object, it is the noun that is acted upon by the action of transitive verb. That is the direct object. In a sentence, he hit the dog. Hit is a transitive verb, and dog is the noun which is the direct object. The dog bite Ajua. It is Ajua that the dog bite. So the effect is on Ajua. He gave the shirt to the man. Here, he gave the shirt to the man. Indirect object. It is an object that can be preceded by to or for. The indirect object usually refers to the person who benefits from an action or receives something as the result of it. Thus, in a sentence, the president gave the boy flour. Boy is indirect object and flour is the direct object. So the person who received the benefit or who gained the benefit of the sentence from such subject is the indirect object. So the president gave Kwesi a flower. Here we have the president as what? Noun. Kwesi is a noun and flower too is a noun. But we want to identify all of them by giving them names. So the president is the subject, but when you come here, the flower is the direct object which is being given. But who received it? Kofi, Kwesi. Kwesi is what? Indirect object. Mr. Obin bought Richard a car. Here too, Mr. Obin is the subject. But the direct object is the car which is given or bought. But who received it? Richard. So Richard is also noun, but here it is serving as what? Indirect object. Then subject complement. Complements are nouns that are linked to their subject by linking verbs such as is, are, was, were, seem, appear, become, look. These are all corpus or linking verbs. And what do they do? That's in a sentence, John is a boy. Boy is a noun, acting as complement since it refers back to the subject. In other words, complements always have a relationship with the subject of the sentence. For example, he is a boy. Here, He is the subject, but the boy is also a noun. But what is he doing in the sentence? It is complementing the boy for us to see the boy very well. They are friends. Friends is a noun, but here it is serving as what? A complement to they. She is a teacher. They were strangers. I am Frank. So Frank is serving as a complement to the subject I. We have a positive. A noun can be functioned as a positive. An appositive is a noun or phrase which provide information about another noun or phrase. An appositive is a noun or pronoun, often with modifiers, set beside another noun or pronoun to explain or identify it. An appositive is a noun or a noun phrase that renames the noun next to it. For example, the class prefect, Kwesi, is my cousin. Kwesi is in opposition to the class prefect. Why? Kwesi is giving us more information to the class prefect. So the class prefect is really the subject and it is the noun. And Kwesi too is a noun. But what is Kwesi doing here? Kwesi is in opposition to the class prefect. Kwesi is giving us explanation of who the class prefect is. The boxer, Azuma, is renowned person in the country. Here, the boxer, which of the boxers that we have? We have many boxers, but here we are talking about a certain boxer. So the word Azuma used here is referring to the boxer we are talking about. So Azuma is in a position to the boxer. Stephen Appiah, the captain, will miss the next match. So Stephen Appiah, the captain. So the captain is giving us more about what Stephen Appiah is. Object complement. An object complement follows a direct object. Let's look at it very well. We have now subject complement, and here we are talking about object complement. An object complement follows direct object. It may be a word or phrase that gives further meaning to the direct object. In sense, it explains what direct object has become. For example, Frank named his son Abbott. So here, Abbott is complementing the word, the noun here, son, for us to know which of the sons that we are talking about. They made Kofi president. So the president is complementing Kofi, and Kofi too is the object of the sentence. So the president is complementing Kofi for us to know who Kofi has become. I considered him my friend. So my friend here is complementing him for us to know who him is referring to. We have object of preposition. The object of preposition is the noun or pronoun governed by a preposition. In other words, it is a noun, that is noun phrase, or pronoun that follows a preposition and completes its meaning. For example, I am not in town. I am not in town. Here, in is the object. In the object, which is the town, in introduce town for us to know actually where the town or the person can be found, or is the person be found. So the preposition in is helping us know much about what? The town. So here, in is heaven, or the town here is, because it followed preposition, it is telling us where exactly we are talking about. So I am not in town. He is on the chair. The on here, which is the preposition, is referring or giving us more information about this. So we refer them as what? object of what preposition, and the object is following the preposition. They are behind Joe. So they are behind Joe. So the behind, which is followed by the object, is making it what? Object of preposition. So this is what time will permit us to end our lessons. Like I said, this is English tutorial. It is going to cover many things in English. So don't hesitate to subscribe to my channel or give a comment because we are all learning. Wait for my next video and do as well subscribe in all the videos that you see. Thank you very much.